Oh, hey mathematicians, it's Justin again. Have you ever heard of cannoli? I hadn't until I started working here at the factory. It's an Italian dessert and they are so good. Here's a picture of one. It's a crispy tube filled with cream and then the whole thing is coated in chocolate. I'm working on the cannoli line today. I get to bake the outsides, fill them up, then cover them with chocolate. There are 3 sizes though, and I need to determine how much filling to make. Can you help me out? Before I get to the cannoli making, I need to figure out how much of that delicious cream filling to make. The Circleville Candy Company sells 3 sizes of cannoli. Little mini cannoli, a single serving size, and a shareable family size. How much filling does each size of cannoli hold? To start figuring this out, I'm going to need a few pieces of information. First, what shape are these cannoli? Yes, they're cylinders. Next, to determine how much filling each cannoli holds, will I need to calculate area, perimeter, surface area, or volume? Write down your answer and your reasoning in your notes. Because the filling will go inside the cylinder, we need to calculate the volume of each cannoli to determine how much cream filling fits inside. Let's see if we can figure out the formula for the volume of a cylinder. That'll tell me what measurements I need to get my answer. To calculate the volume of a cylinder, we need to start with the bottom, the circular face the cylinder rests on. Now, imagine we layer that circular slice or disc shape over and over, stacking them on top of each other. Look, it's our cylinder. So a cylinder is formed of a bunch of circular slices stacked on top of each other. If we stack all the discs on top of each other to build the cylinder, how do the number of discs and their size relate to the cylinder's volume? Write down one idea in your notes now. The slice itself is the area of the circular base, and the stack of all the slices is the same height as the height of the cylinder. So to find the volume, we need to multiply the area of one of those slices times the height of the cylinder. The area of a circle is pi r squared, so we'll times that by h for height. That gives us the formula for the volume of a cylinder, which is V equals pi r squared times h. Said in words, volume equals pi times the radius raised to the second power times the height. Let's test out this formula on the mini cannoli size. The mini cannoli are small cylinders with a radius of 0.25 centimeters and a height of 4 centimeters. How much cream filling will one mini cannoli hold in terms of numeric centimeters cubed? Notice that since a cannoli lays on its side, the height looks more like the length in this case. Think of the height as the distance between the 2 circular bases at the ends to help you remember. If that's tricky for you to picture, you can always redraw the cylinder standing upright, like this. In the word problem, underline the R and circle the H. Then write out the formula. V equals pi r squared h. Substitute 0.25 in place of R and 4 in place of h. So now we have V equals pi times 0.25 squared times 4. Our next step is substituting 3.14 in place of pi. That gives us V equals 3.14 times 0.25 squared times 4. Following gems, we need to deal with the exponent. So now it's V equals 3.14 times 0.0625 times 4. We multiply from left to right, which gives us 0.19625 times 4, and multiplying that together gives us our final answer of 0.785 centimeters cubed. Make sure you pay attention to your units. When you solve for volume, your final answer should be in cubic units. That means with an exponent of 3 after your unit. Why might that be? Since volume is the amount of three-dimensional space something takes up, your final answer should always end in that little 3. Let's try this again, but this time we'll solve in terms of pi. The single-serving cannoli is a cylinder with a height of 6 centimeters and a radius of 1 centimeter. How much cream filling will one cannoli contain? Your final answer should be in pi centimeters cubed. I want you to get this one started. Underline the R, circle the H, then substitute those values into the formula. Check what I did. Did you also get V equals pi times 1 squared times 6? Great. Let's continue from here, but this time we don't replace the pi symbol. Instead, we jump right to the exponent. 1 squared is 1. So now it's V equals pi times 1 times 6. Multiply 1 times 6, which is of course 6. Then remember to rearrange and put the coefficient first. This cannoli holds 6 pi centimeters cubed of filling. Oh, geez, that is not particularly helpful. I don't have a measuring cup with pies on it. Why is measuring in terms of pi not very useful in this situation? Yeah, when we're dealing with real-world scenarios, measuring in terms of pi usually isn't very useful because it doesn't provide a concrete, measurable value. Can you do this one again, but this time get the answer in numeric centimeters cubed? Thanks a bunch. So up until about here, it's the same, but now instead of going straight to the exponent, you have to substitute 3.14 in place of pi. So it's V equals 3.14 times 1 squared times 6. 1 squared is 1. Then we multiply left to right. 3.14 times 1 is still 3.14. Then multiply that by 6 for the final numeric answer, 18.84 cubic centimeters. Thanks for your help. The last thing I need to figure out is how much chocolate covers the outside of each cannoli size. Which formula will I need for the chocolate coating? Surface area or volume? Circle your choice and write your reason in your notes now. Yes, if I'm figuring out how much goes on the outside of a 3D figure, that requires the surface area formula. Be careful. Now that you know both formulas, some questions will require the surface area formula and some will require the volume formula. For example, say a soda can has a height of 12 centimeters and a radius of 4 centimeters. How much soda does the can hold? Which formula would we use here? Surface area or volume? Yes, this is a volume question because it's asking about the amount inside the cylindrical can. Try this next one. A farmer is coating the entire exterior of their grain silo with waterproofing material. If the height of the silo is 26 feet and the radius is 10 feet, how much material will they need? Is this a surface area or volume question? For this question, you use the surface area formula because it's talking about the exterior or outside of the 3D shape. Okay, last one. A cylindrical swimming pool has a diameter of 16 feet and is 4 feet deep. How much water is needed to fill the pool? Your turn. Which formula and why? Yes, you'd use the volume formula because we're calculating the amount inside the pool. All right, once I do the calculations for the chocolate coating, I should be ready to start my cannoli making. Thanks for all your help today. And hey, if you're curious about the giant family-sized cannoli, you can see just how big they are in the bonus activity. In the meantime, finish up these notes and start practice levels 1 and 2. Until next time, keep questioning, keep calculating, and remember, the volume is the total space on the inside of a 3D shape. See you next time.